we're going to do in this video is understand the different parts of the eye in short, not in extreme detail. Let's begin. The outer layer of the eye is called the cornea. It's white in color and transparent. Transparent? Yes, it means that it allows light to pass through it. It acts like a tough front wall of the eye. What is its function? It protects the interior of the eye from accidents and also does not allow foreign particles to enter the eye. Okay, so this was all about the outer layer of the eye. Let's now talk about the things present inside. Behind the cornea, there's a dark muscular structure called the iris. Iris determines the color of the eye. For instance, when we say that a person has blue eyes, it means that the color of the iris of the person's eye is blue. Now there is a small opening at the center of the iris for the light to enter. Do you know what it's called? It's called the pupil. The iris actually acts like a shutter of a camera. It controls the amount of light entering the eye by enlarging or shrinking and thereby adjusting the size of the pupil. For example, when you focus the light from the torch directly into a person's eye, the iris shrinks. This is because the intensity of light is too much for the eyes to bear. The shrinking iris stops the unwanted light from entering through the pupil. And when it's dark or when there's less light, it expands, allowing more light to enter through the pupil. Okay, what happens next? The light that enters through the pupil falls on the lens kept behind. The lens is a convex lens. What is a convex lens? Convex lens is a lens which is thicker at the center than the edges. It's a converging lens. That is, it focuses all the light at one point. In a normal regular eye, this point is somewhere here on this inner boundary called retina. Why do I say a normal eye? Well, in a defective eye, this point of focus may lie either in front of the retina or behind the retina. We will talk about this defect of eye in our future videos, but first, let's go back to our normal eye where light is focused on the retina. Retina is at the back of the eye and marks the inner layer of the eyeball. Retina contains lots of nerve cells that sense the light. The nerve cells are of two kinds, namely cones, which are sensitive to bright light, and rods, which are sensitive to dim light. The message or sensation is then transferred to the brain along the optic nerve. Okay, let's quickly recap what we learned about the human eye. Human eye has a roughly spherical shape. The outer part of an eye, called the cornea, is a thick white transparent wall which protects the eye from accidents and keeps the foreign particles from entering inside. Behind the cornea, the colorful part of the eye, called the iris, is present. It has a small opening at the center called pupil. Iris controls the light entering through the pupil by contracting and expanding. Behind the pupil, there is a converging lens which focuses the light on retina. Retina consists of two types of nerve cells, namely cones and rods. They transfer the message through the optic nerve.
As we see, there are two types of cells which are present in the optic nerve. So these are cones which are sensitive to bright light and rods which are sensitive to dim light. So mainly we can say that due to cones we sense color. So here is a new term that is called blind spot. So what is blind spot? So blind spot is the junction of optic nerve and the retina where there is no sensory cells. So here you have to see what is blind spot. So blind spot at the junction of the optic nerve and the retina where there is no sensory cells, which means no visible vision is possible at this spot. So this is called blind spot. So here is an activity, you can do it at home. So next, here the impression of an image does not vanish immediately from the retina. So it persists there about 1/16th of the second. So keep in mind, How much time image is persist on retina? That is 1 by 16th of the second. So the next is the care of the eye. So it is necessary that you take proper care of your eye. If there is any problem, please do regular checkup with the eye specialist. So here are the few points or advice you can do for caring of your eye. So use suitable spectacles. So too little or too much light is bad for eye. So insufficient light causes eye strain and headaches. So don't sit in the too little or too much light. Too much light like that of the sun is a powerful lamp or laser torch can injure the retina. Don't look at the sun or a powerful light directly. So you are not advised to see directly toward the sun. Never rub your eyes if any dust particle is go into your eyes. So wash your eyes with clean water. Always read at the normal distance for the vision. So don't bringing the book too close to your eyes and not too far from your eyes. So it is at the normal distance. So you have to take a balanced diet so that deficiency of any food items may cause any deficiency in eyes. So your eyes may also suffer if there is any deficiency of food items. So firstly, the lack of vitamin A is responsible for eye troubles. So it may cause night blindness. So always take vitamin A supplements such as raw carrot, broccoli, green vegetables such as spinach, cod liver oil. These are rich in vitamin A. So also eggs, milk, curd, cheese, butter, fruits, papaya such as papaya, mango are also rich in vitamin A. So these are the certain cares you have to take, precautions you have to take to care for your eye. So here one more point, what the normal distance of vision is provided by the nature. So nature has provided eyes with the eyelid so that it can prevent any object from entering the eye. So eyelid always shut out light when not required. So eyelid also shut out when light is not required. So it is a wonderful instrument. It is used to see distant as well as nearby objects clearly. So the minimum distance at which the eye can see distant object is varying. The normal eye can have comfortable distance, that is 25 centimeter. So some person can see object close to them clearly but cannot see distant object. On the other hand, some person cannot see nearby object but can see distant object. So these type of defects can be corrected by the suitable lenses. So in old age, eyesight becomes foggy. So why it is happens? It is due to the cloudness of the cloudy nature of the eye lens. So sometimes a person lost their vision. So it is possible to treat this defect. So the opaque lens is removed and new lens is installed in the eye so that person is able to see the objects. So modern technology had this made this procedure simple and safer. So visually impaired person can read and write. Yes, some visually impaired person can read and write. So they have very limited vision to see the things. Some person cannot see at all since birth, but some can lose their eyesight. So they can identify things by touching and listening to voice more carefully. So there is additional resources can enable them to develop their capabilities further. So it can be possible with Braille system. What is Braille system? So the most popular resource for visually challenged person is Braille. So Louis Braille himself visually challenged person and developed a system for visually challenged person. So Braille code, a common language, mathematics and scientific notations. So many Indian languages can be read using Braille system. So you can see here a braille system has 63 dot pattern. So each pattern give a letter, common word and grammar sign. So you can see here as C is given by 2 dots and A is given by 1 dot. So comma is given by the dot at the last 2 columns, 2 rows. So in this way there is a pattern which helps a visually challenged person to do their work during braille system. So visually impaired people learn the braille system by beginning with letter, then special character and letter combination. So they can be recognized by touching the letter. So braille text can be produced by hand or by machine. Typewriter like devices and printing machines have now been developed for this system. So we can say that braille system is used for the visually impaired persons. So it is established by the Lal Advani, an association for special education. So in special education the visually challenged person can read, write and study and take a degree from the any university. So here we had complete the chapter number 16, that is light. So be prepared for the test.